Hello everyone, I would like to welcome you to our new headquarters of CoDeTech and Arax. We've settled into our new offices that are much more comfortable, a lot bigger, and offer much more room for expansion of our current local team. We are also actively expanding our development team, so if you are a skilled developer in Golang, Rust, Node.js, .NET, React.js, or Flutter, please feel free to contact us and send your CVs through. We are also busy designing our crypto hub located on the ground floor where our offices are located. We will be housing many events and offer workspace for people who want to learn about the core blockchain. It will be a very high-tech venue and will be the very first place where you will be able to come and meet us and join a conference or workshop about the core ecosystem. This is a big step for our community to be able to interact with us, and we're hoping to have our first events early next year. To start off, just on a side note, we would like to state that we are very impressed and proud of the Slovak authorities' approach to the regulation of crypto digital assets and taxation, following the ECB rules and regulation, making it much more friendly for companies like us who are focused on decentralized technologies, which we all know is the future. With that said, we now hope we have answered those that have asked the question, why Slovakia? I would like to make it very clear. As I have been advised, anything mentioned in this video is not a solicitation or any form of financial or regulatory advice. So, let's start off with the regulation and compliance of Ping Exchange. We're starting off with the Swiss-based license. Due to the operations crossing multiple jurisdictions, we would like to adhere to the nationalities of our customers and their jurisdictions with those regulations which have multiple compliance requirements in the different jurisdictions relating to crypto, digital assets, securities, and fiat on and off ramp. We are managing our compliance under the close guidance of Lars Schlichtling and his amazing team. As you are all aware of the recent changes of several jurisdictions changing their regulation, we needed to change a few things within the Ping Exchange platform as we were advised. Our plan is to kick off with the following markets: Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, CoreCoin, Core Token, and USDT, of course. As you are aware of the recent market leaders and biggest exchanges running into challenging situations with various regulators in different jurisdictions, what's actually nice is they've paved the way and made us aware and also to be more careful and also be more informed. That allows us the opportunity to release the exchange in the most compliant way possible within these jurisdictions. These changes, of course, had a direct impact on our development and is a major cause of the delay for the release. So, as a result of the complexity of the recent regulatory changes in multiple jurisdictions, including the advice and guidance we have been given, we needed to make a few changes to our flagging system, limits, and AML checks. Due to us having the amazing CorePass, we also needed to adhere to the standard set with compliance, where nationality is checked prior to the user creating their profile or account, and not limited to IP addresses as per the standard norm, which has failed and is among one of those reasons which resulted in other exchanges running into those challenging situations. Therefore, to ensure that we can offer our services to our diverse community, We need to ensure we comply with all regulators and jurisdictions to provide ongoing services to serve our community worldwide with the strict but amazing process our compliance department has set up. This has resulted in some changes to take place in the development and is strong underway. The next thing is the removal of fiat markets and credit card processors, which seems like a simple task, but given the security of the Ping Exchange and the huge amount of modules affected, is a mammoth task on its own, which we are already quite far with the removal process. To ensure that we provide also great customer support as well as support in the compliance department, we've had to implement a full help desk solution as well as a ticketing system. We think it also serves to mention a brief update on CorePass. The release of CorePass app is reliant on the release of Ping Exchange, as we need the market-related value of XCB and CTN. Once Ping Exchange is ready, we will be able to resubmit the CorePass application to Google Play and iOS stores for final approval. This can only be done once the exchange is 100% ready for release. We are taking the delayed time to add more payment gateways for more payment options and preparing additional protocols for financial institutions to integrate the CorePass app. However, we are very happy to announce some more information about the XCB Hodler app. We have decided to prepare the XCB Hodler app for release prior to the Ping Exchange and CorePass. The reason being that the application is not reliant on them to be released, which means you will finally have a proper UI for your mining activity where you can import your current UTC files and private keys and even have the means to send and receive XCB. Please note, this is only for XCB and the current mining wallets. You can create a wallet from GitHub and import it into the application if you're not mining yet or if you haven't done so. However, there will not be a price indication, as that is reliant again on Ping Exchange, which will define the market price. But we are more focused on hodling, right? And the amount of core coins with a truly decentralized value is what is more important. We will be starting our announcements in the social media channels as soon as we are done with the preparations and approvals from the Google Play Store as well as the iOS Store. On a serious note though, it is important for us to ensure the safety and security of our diverse community and release a platform that can continue to provide the services. As hard as it is for you to endure the wait, as frustrating it is for us who have developed the platform, resulting in such changes that needed to take place after we had made sure we were compliant. However, we have taken that frustrated energy and put that into further development, which I will show you now. So the first update that we are going to be looking at is the CorePort and the CueSwap platform. Now, these are two platforms which we have newly developed. Some parts are still not functioning in the CueSwap platform, but most of the CorePort is functioning. Just to explain to you what I'm going to showcase to you, the CorePort is the browser extension of the CorePass application, which is kind of like the answer to MetaMask for the core blockchain and for the digital identity itself, which you can actually use as a browser extension to be able to log into websites. It's also better for developers, and there's a lot of things that you can actually do with the CorePort itself. Then on top of that, the CueSwap is basically our answer on the core blockchain to Uniswap, SushiSwap, as well as PancakeSwap and things like this.
It's primarily for the core blockchain itself, and it is so that we can actually create wrapped BTC, ETH, LTC, all these types of things. But on top of that, it will also be forming part of our launch pad, where you can actually create pools for your newly developed tokens, releasing of new tokens, these types of things. So it's also for developers, but it's also an instant swapping platform that you can swap in between multiple different assets. Also, you know, the purpose of the wrapping is actually so that you are able to transact, for example, wrapped BTC or ETH within 42 seconds on the core blockchain itself. So let me change my scene and let's get into it. So the top logo on your screen there is the CorePort, and the logo underneath that is the CueSwap, the one in green. Now we are actually in my browser extension section here, and basically what you can see there is my CorePort, which I have installed. It's running on my local host but connected to the blockchain, and everything is done. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the CorePort itself. Now, as you can see, we have here languages. Of course, multiple different languages will come in. Here you can see actually we have the translation there. Not everything is translated, I know, but that's still in development. And you have here connect your CorePass, or I don't have a CorePass. So if you don't have a CorePass, then basically what will happen is you will actually be sent to the download part of the iStore or the Google Play Store to download the CorePass and then actually create your CorePass account. Now, I have my mobile here with my CorePass itself, and what I'm going to do is I am going to connect my CorePass to the CorePort. So the first thing that I'm going to do on my CorePass is I'm going to say share data. Here I'm going to click on connect CorePass, and now I will scan the QR code, as you can see there. Then it's going to ask me to create a password. This is for if you want to lock the CorePort or something like this, that you have a password. So I'm just creating a simple password just for the showcasing. Okay, and we click that, and then we say continue. I can also skip it if I want. This is just for data collection and things like this. You can either agree or disagree. It's up to you. It's your decision. So here we've got my CorePort and my CorePass connected. Now, as you can see, I have XCB and CTN there. And basically you can see here the amount of XCB and CTN that I have in the camera itself. So 15 XCB and 103 CTN, which is the same as showcased on my application of my CorePass. Now, on the screen, basically here you can see this is my account. I can log out, or I can lock the account. If I've locked the account, I can just use my newly created password that I did, and it will unlock it for me again. The next thing that you have here is you have the networks itself. The networks, you can actually showcase test nets and these types of things with this toggle switch. You can add a network that you can do actually by searching a network. If you select the network, it will give you all the details about the network, or you can add it manually. This is more for developers, so it can give network name, RPC URL, etc. These types of things. You can also stipulate whether it's a test net or not. Then the next thing that we have here is we have the settings, accounts, details, import token, view on block index, and help and support. So first we'll go into the settings section. You have the general settings, which is your system language, default currency. You can do primary currency, asset tokens, so you can hide the tokens that don't have balances. You can lock the account, you can change your password here. Then we've got advanced, okay, show test networks. Then you've also got an auto lock timer, so it can actually lock your account if you are away from your computer automatically, which you can set up to 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 190 minutes, as you can see here, however long the duration that you want your CorePort to be active. Next thing that we have is we have the network. So here again, you can actually see the networks as we had up here in this section here. And then there is notifications and alerts, okay, for unconnected accounts. But then there's also this part, which is very cool, which is actually anti-phishing for any Web3 websites that tries to automatically connect to your CorePort without you knowing. Then we will actually go back here and to go over the basics of this platform. We have no connected sites. We will get to that in a few seconds. We have the balance here. This is in dollar. Of course, I had on my CorePass Swiss francs, but it is a real-time conversion rate. Then what we have is we have send and receive. So if I want to receive some Core coins, then I can just click on that and I can actually scan it with my CorePass, or I can copy the address and send it to the individual. If I want to send, I can send here Core coins. So let's say we're going to send it to the address, which I'm going to utilize this address, and this mock data is only for the developers. Remember, this is a developer application. It's for our developers that specifically use the data and things like this to actually do debugging and these types of things. But here we will go next, and now I can actually go and select the amount of Core coins that I would like to send. So let's say I would like to send 5 Core coins, and I'm going to say preview transaction. Then it tells me the wallet I'm going to send it to. It's going to say the expected arrival will be 30 seconds, estimated gas fee. Well, that should actually be energy fee. That's a typo over there, which I found. Okay, and recipient gets 5 XCB. And we can say continue. Now what I need to do is I need to utilize my CorePass, where I will do, as normal, scanning the QR code like I would log in. So I scan this QR code and it says send transaction. So now I can say confirm, and then it gives me a transaction hash. So the next step is I've scanned the QR code, so I will click on that. Then it brings up my camera, so I can then actually scan this transaction hash, and it finds the transaction hash and it will complete it. And there you can see 5 XCB has already been sent out. And if I go to my other telephone where I have a CorePass here, we can go and have a look at the balance. I have 5 Core coins, and I can show you that I just received them real time. There is the transaction right over there, as you can see. So now I'm going to send from this CorePass the Core coins back. So let's say receive, and I will go send, and I will say scan QR code. I'll scan this QR code and I will send back 5.6 XCB. Okay, view the transaction, send, and we will see the transaction come in here in a few seconds. So let's just see, transaction was successful. So let's just reload here, and there you go. Now I have 16.39, and if we go and have a look at the activity, 5.6 XCB has been received. I can view it on the Block Explorer, and that is everything basically for the CorePort. Now what we're going to do is we are going to connect this CorePort to our CueSwap. Now this is the CueSwap platform, which we are currently busy developing. And what we're going to do is we're going to say get started, and we're going to take the CorePort to connect this wallet. And as you can see here we've got connect to new website. This will actually tell you the website name or the URL of the website, because this is on my local host. Then of course it's going to give you this URL. I will say next, and there it's going to tell me the account and everything, and I will say connect. And as you can see here, 16.39. If we go here to CorePort, you will now see one connected site is there. I can disconnect here. I can also disconnect over here. So if I click disconnect here and I go here, then you see no sites are connected. If I reconnect it over here, we'll just do it very quickly. Then you can see here I can also disconnect it, and I'm no longer connected here. And as you can see, there it is, not connected. So we'll just connect again. Okay, so let's get into the CueSwap platform a little bit, just to take you through. So here we have your normal swapping, where you can swap CTN to XCB, XCB to CTN. Of course, when we list other tokens and things like this, we will do that. Here we can actually say, okay, right, we want to do 1 point, we'll say, let's say we'll do 2 XCB and CTNs, but because the pools aren't really working, I'll just take you through a certain part of it, and the rest will not continue because we don't have the pools working yet. Those are smart contracts and things that we are busy developing. So I will then say, okay, confirm the swap. Okay, continue. And I will now scan with my CorePass over here. I will say there's the transaction, and I will say confirm. And of course it has now given me an error, and I will say okay, reject, and you can see that it has also rejected the transaction. Then what we have here is the tokens. Here you have all the multiple different tokens that you and the coins also, which you can actually go and have a look at. So I will then click on, for example, Core Coin. Here a graph will be with 1 hour, 1 day. It will show you all the liquidity, the 24-hour volume, the 52-week low and 52-week high. And you can also do a quick swap here if you would like. It also gives you some more information about it, and then it also says to you core scan, more analytics, website, and you can also go and have a look at the Twitter feeds of this particular project or of this particular asset. Then we also have the pools. You can add liquidity here, of course, so you can participate in the different types of pools. And then what you can also do is you can go and create your own pool, or you can view the details about these pools here also, about what is your liquidity there, these types of things. And that is basically everything that I can mention. We also have here notifications that will actually bring up all the notifications, all proposals, all transactions, these types of things. We also have here a hamburger menu, which is vote and governance, developers, community, legal privacy, contact, these types of things. And that is basically everything that I can tell you right now about the CueSwap. I will be doing, once we are ready with the platform, a much more in-depth and deeper presentation about the CueSwap itself. The other thing that serves to mention is that we are in the final stages of developing our JS library, which will be open source for dApp developers to actually create decentralized applications on the core blockchain. So they would be able to get it from GitHub and be able to integrate it into their dApps that they want to build and utilize the core blockchain for that. We will also be making announcements about that very soon. So that is the first part of the two additional parts of the software that we wanted to show you. And now what we will do is we will take you to the next presentation.
So we are currently on the rooftop of the Arax and CoDeTech headquarters. And the reason why we chose this place is because this is in a suburban area and within a metropole, where there are multiple different frequencies and multiple different disturbances to showcase to you that the Luna Mesh And the Orbi 2, which I'm holding here in my hands, connected to a battery pack, can function entirely without internet. Now, first, let's talk about the devices which I have here on the table. First and foremost, we have the Orbi 2 and the Luna Mesh, which is in this prototype over here. It is connected with a normal, standard, omnidirectional antenna that you can find in your local household, connected to your normal Wi-Fi. We are currently working on our own proprietary antennas, which can do much further distances, which is the proprietary Luna antennas. But more about the device. This is multiple nodes running within this little box. And the beautiful part about it is that we're running a blockchain node, a miner. We're running several other instances, which makes it a multi-node device. It is also connected to the Luna node itself, all running in this little box over here. That's got decentralized storage, it's got a decentralized search engine, it's got everything actually running only within this little device. Now, the difference between this device and this device, this is a simple Luna sender and receiver, which allows to leapfrog the network and allows this computer to be able to be connected into the network itself. We can also connect mobile devices without needing any third-party software, or normal laptops without needing third-party connectors or devices or anything like this, to the Wi-Fi that this can also distribute. What we're going to prove today in this use case is to transmit a video call with the Ting platform over a distance of 500 meters to that castle over there from here, not using any form of internet or alternative connectivity other than the Luna Mesh network. So, let's get into showcasing the use case. Okay, so let's prove this use case right now, where I'm using this standard laptop connected to the Luna Mesh. We are going to connect 500 meters to the castle, no internet, and we're going to have a Ting meeting on Luna Mesh. So, just to prove to you, I'm also recording my screen. I'm going to showcase here no internet access whatsoever. And now we are going to start the meeting. Start instant meeting. So here I will go and say the room name. Ting meeting on Luna. And I'll type in my name, scroll down, start the session. I will prove to you, I will type in google.com and you will see we're having trouble finding this site, which means it's not connected to the Luna Mesh. There is no internet whatsoever on this computer. So, and we're running the Ting platform, which is running within the Luna Mesh. That is how amazing this platform is. And Matej will join us in a moment. Matej!
Hi, Oki. Hi, guys.
How are you?
Perfect. Everything's great.
You look very nice and bright there in the sun.
Yeah. I got the chance to be directly on the sun.
So where are you, my friend?
I'm currently in the castle. This phenomenal view. And of course, you can tell us what we are achieving now.
Well, I explained it a little bit earlier, but
500 meters away, you're sitting at the castle. I'm at the rooftop of the Arax headquarters, Arax and CoDeTech headquarters, and this is absolutely phenomenal. Serverless, borderless, peer-to-peer, end-to-end encrypted, uninterceptable, and even no internet connectivity whatsoever on Luna Mesh. We're having a Ting meeting. I don't think you can get any better than that. So, I want to ask you one favor. Can you tell me what time and date is it there by you right now to prove to our viewers that it's real time?
So from my side, 12:31 minutes, 4th of July.
Fantastic, thank you very much. And then can you do me another favor and just on your screen share, which you're doing, or screen record that you're doing right now, can you please Google for me or type in google.com in a new tab to prove that there is no connectivity?
Absolutely, I'll be very happy to do that. So as you can see here, I am trying to go to website google.com, but there is no internet. Internet disconnected, but at the same time we are on the meeting, so this is incredible.
So my friend, thank you very much for helping me prove this use case, and I'll see you a little bit later back at headquarters.
It was my pleasure, guys.
Thanks, hey. Ciao.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
And that's it. Proving no internet, serverless, borderless, peer-to-peer, end-to-end encrypted, uninterceptable connectivity. Connectivity is a human right, and we will deploy this